What is up, guys? I am James, and today I wanted to make a little guide on how to get a Slayer helm the fastest possible way. Recently I've had people ask me how I got my Slayer helmet so fast, because I've been telling people that I've got it in 3 days, and people are like, wow, that's crazy, like how'd you do that in so little time? And so I decided I might as well make a video about it and let everybody know and help everybody out and see if it helps anybody. But anyways, I'll go ahead and get into it. The method's fairly easy. So instead of taking the whole video to sort of explain the method, what I'm going to do is after I tell you the method, I'm going to explain why it's better to use this way and in what ways it's faster by using my epic math skills. Pretty much what I would recommend is to, if you want to start out doing this, I would recommend to be able to use Cheldar? I don't know how you pronounce that, but the Fairy Slayer Master in Xanaris. And then also you're going to need a couple games necklaces to be able to teleport to Turiel and Birthrope, or the ability to use NPC contact, because you can contact whatever Slayer Master you want. And so anyways, basically what the method is you're going to do every 10th task at your highest Slayer Master, which would be Cheldar, Neve, Duradel. God, I don't know how to pronounce any of this shit, but pretty much you're going to do every 10th task there, and then 1 through 9, you're going to want to use Turiel, which is the guy in Birthrope. And the reason why you want to do this is I will show you using my math, and I'll go ahead and put like a table, some like cool whatever, to sort of compare the two and show you why this method is better than just training Slayer normal using your highest Slayer Master. Also, for a side note, make sure you never use Turiel to cancel one of your current Slayer tasks, because what this does is if you do that, it'll explain it to you if you ever try to do it, but it resets all of your task progress and it resets you back to 0 tasks in a row, so you never want to use that. If you're ever going to skip a task, use Slayer points. So for reference, I'm going to use 3 hours to explain sort of why this method is better than just doing a regular method. And in 3 hours, we'll use each task is about an hour, I would say. I mean, that's not the definite amount, it's just sort of a reference. So we'll say each task from Cheldar is an hour long. So in 3 hours, you could do 3 tasks, which will grant you 30 Slayer points. Or I would say like 1 through 9, doing 9 tasks at the lowest Slayer Master. Probably you could do that in about the same time it takes to do 2 tasks from Cheldar. So in about 3 hours you would get 10 tasks done, which you would get 0 points from Turiel the whole time, but then on your 10th task you get 5 times the points, which would amount to 50 points. So already in those first 3 hours, you could sort of see why it's better to use this method. But just from that there, it tells you right there, if you're only going for a Slayer helmet, definitely use this method to get your Slayer helmet faster. But there's also another reason why this is the better method, and that is because at your 50th task, you get, I believe it's 15 times the amount of Slayer points, which if you're using Cheldar would be 150 Slayer points. So in this example, we'll say again that each task is about an hour long. So by this sort of table thing, I don't know what you want to call it, that I got going here, we're going to go with each row equals 3 hours of time. So in the first 3 hours, you'll be able to do 3 tasks from Cheldar or whatever, and then using my method, in 3 hours you'll be able to do 10 tasks, which will grant you 20 more Slayer points, as I already had explained. So now going down the list, after 6 hours, you could either have 60 points or you could have 100 points. After 9 hours, you'll have either 90 points or 150 points. After 12 hours, you'll have either 160 or 200, and the reason there's this big jump in points is because on the 10th task, you get 5 times the points, so that adds another 40 on there to the regular like base, whatever you want to call it. And then after 15, you'll have 190 or you'll have 350, and then after 18 hours, you'll have either 220 or 400 Slayer points using my method, which this method, or 400 Slayer points, is obviously the ability to make a Slayer helmet. So you can either take it'll take like what, you got about 37 regular tasks if you double this. So take about either 37 regular tasks, or it'll take about 60 of my method doing tasks, and it'll take about half the time. So obviously it's about half the time spent getting a Slayer helmet. And then obviously, in my opinion, this is worth it, because getting a Slayer helmet, it makes Slayer so much easier. You know, you get that 15-point boost, and obviously that'll translate fairly quickly into getting more Slayer experience, and then you can use that on every task, regardless if it has something that's required, except for ones that need like a mirror shield or whatever. But pretty much, hopefully this explains sort of why this method is better than just training Slayer regularly if you just want a Slayer helmet. And obviously you can use this method to unlock anything, whether it's the ability to like hit gargoyles without clicking the gargoyles with the hammer, or if you want to unlock broad bolts or whatever. This is the optimal way to get Slayer points. And then pretty much after you've unlocked everything, you know, obviously just train Slayer as is, and then you'll get those Slayer points and Slayer XPs and Slayer whatevers you want to call them. And anyways, yeah, that's the method of how I got my Slayer helmet, and how I would recommend everyone else should get their Slayer helmet. And I hope this helped you guys out, and good luck getting those Slayer helmets, and thanks for watching.